Canines are some of the most successful mammalian predators to have ever walked the earth. Few animal families can match their ability to adapt, survive, and spread across such a wide range of environments. From frozen tundra to scorching deserts, dense forests to open grasslands, canines have proven again and again that they are masters of survival. Even though their numbers and ranges were once far greater than what we see today, they are still among the most dominant carnivores alive. What makes canines truly impressive is how flexible they are. Over millions of years, they have evolved into many different shapes, sizes, and lifestyles to suit the ecosystems they live in. Some rely on speed, others on endurance. Some hunt alone, while others operate in coordinated packs. This adaptability is the reason canines are found on nearly every continent and in nearly every habitat imaginable. In this video, I will be focusing on size. More specifically, I will be counting down 9 of the largest wild canines in the world. At first, this might sound like a straightforward list, but it quickly becomes complicated. The classification of canines is famously confusing. Many species can interbreed with one another, producing hybrids, and several species have multiple subspecies that differ significantly in size. To keep things clear, I will only be including truly wild canines. Domesticated dogs will not be included, and neither will dingoes, since they are generally considered a subspecies of wolf. With all of that out of the way, let's begin the countdown. Number 9. Our first canine has one of the widest distributions of any land mammal on Earth. The red fox is the largest of the true foxes and has successfully established itself across much of the northern hemisphere. It can be found throughout North America, Europe, and Asia, and it has even formed invasive populations in Australia. One of the reasons the red fox has been so successful is its extreme adaptability. Across its vast range, red foxes can vary significantly in size, color, and behavior. There are currently dozens of recognized subspecies, each adapted to local conditions. This flexibility allows them to thrive in environments where many predators would struggle. Red foxes are intelligent and opportunistic hunters. They commonly prey on small animals such as rabbits, squirrels, rodents, and ground-nesting birds. However, they are far from picky. They will also eat insects, fruits, berries, and even human food waste. This varied diet is one of the main reasons red foxes do so well in urban and suburban environments, where they can easily exploit human resources. In areas where they have been introduced, particularly Australia, red foxes have become a serious ecological problem. They compete with native predators and prey directly on native wildlife that did not evolve alongside such an efficient hunter. Their intelligence and adaptability make them extremely difficult to control. Despite being preyed upon by larger canines and birds of prey, red foxes are excellent at avoiding danger. Their sharp senses and cautious nature help them survive even in heavily populated areas. Although they are not massive by canine standards, red foxes are large for foxes. They can stand up to around 50 centimeters at the shoulder and weigh as much as 17 kilograms. This combination of size, agility, and intelligence earns them the 9th spot on this list. Number 8. Next, we move from a widely distributed species to one with an extremely limited range. High in the Ethiopian highlands lives one of the rarest and most unique canines in the world, the Ethiopian wolf. This slender, long-legged canine resembles a coyote in appearance, with a narrow skull and a reddish coat accented by white markings. Unlike many other canines, the Ethiopian wolf is highly specialized. Roughly 90% of its diet consists of rodents, particularly mole rats and grass rats. This heavy reliance on a single type of prey makes the species especially vulnerable. Today, the Ethiopian wolf is listed as endangered. Population estimates suggest only a few hundred individuals remain, with a large portion of them confined to a single mountain range. This isolation makes them extremely susceptible to disease, habitat loss, and other threats. Genetically, the Ethiopian wolf is one of the most distinct canines on the planet. It is the only member of its genus, meaning there is nothing else quite like it. Unfortunately, this uniqueness is also at risk due to hybridization with domestic dogs. Interbreeding dilutes the genetic purity of the species and threatens its long-term survival. In terms of size, the Ethiopian wolf is larger than a red fox, but still relatively lightweight compared to many other canines. They can reach around 62 centimeters at the shoulder and weigh up to 20 kilograms. Despite their modest size, their rarity and specialization make them one of the most fascinating canines on Earth, earning them the 8th position on this list. Number 7. Our next species takes us across Central, South, and Southeast Asia. The dhole, also known as the Asian wild dog, is one of the most impressive cooperative hunters in the animal kingdom. Dholes are highly social animals that live in organized groups, often referred to as clans. These groups usually consist of around a dozen individuals and may include multiple breeding females. Cooperation is key to their survival, especially since they live in ecosystems dominated by some of the world's most powerful predators. Despite facing competition from animals like tigers and leopards, dholes are remarkably successful hunters. They use teamwork, stamina, and coordination to bring down prey that can be much larger than themselves. Ungulates form the bulk of their diet, although they are also known to scavenge when opportunities arise. In rare and exceptional cases, dholes have even been reported attacking very large animals such as young elephants, though such encounters are extremely dangerous and uncommon. More often, their success comes from persistence rather than raw power. Physically, dholes are not particularly tall, standing at around 56 centimeters at the shoulder. However, they are stocky and muscular, with a maximum weight of approximately 25 kilograms. This compact strength, combined with their cooperative behavior, makes them formidable predators and places them at number 7 on this list. Number 6. Now we head to North America to meet one of the most adaptable and misunderstood predators on the continent, the coyote. Coyotes occupy a similar ecological role in North America to that of jackals in other parts of the world. They are smaller than wolves but larger than many other medium-sized predators. Like red foxes, coyotes are often labeled as pests, but this reputation is misleading. While coyotes do sometimes prey on livestock and pets, they also provide important ecological benefits. They help control populations of rodents, rabbits, and other small animals that can cause significant damage to crops and ecosystems. They are also capable of killing snakes and other potentially dangerous animals. Coyotes are incredibly intelligent and adaptable. These traits have allowed them to thrive not only in rural areas, but also in major cities. In fact, human activity has played a major role in their success. When large predators such as wolves, bears, and mountain lions were eliminated from much of North America, coyotes were able to expand rapidly into newly available niches. Despite their wolf-like appearance, coyotes are smaller. They can reach up to 65 centimeters at the shoulder and weigh as much as 34 kilograms. While they are not the largest canines on this list, their boldness and adaptability earn them the 6th spot. Number 5. Now we head to South America for one of the strangest canines on Earth, the maned wolf. Even though it has wolf in the name and a fox-like face, it is neither a true wolf nor a true fox. It is the only living member of its genus, and it is the largest wild canid in South America. Long ago, it had a close island relative called the Falkland Islands wolf, but that species went extinct in the late 1800s. Today, its closest living relative is believed to be the bush dog, even though they look very different. The maned wolf is famous for its extremely long legs. These legs are not just for looks, they are a real adaptation for its habitat, helping it see over tall grass in open savannas and grasslands. Like many canines, it is an omnivore, but it eats more plant matter than most. In some regions, over half of its diet can be made of fruits and other vegetation. One of its most important foods is the wolf apple, a tomato-like fruit that was named after the maned wolf. This fruit is a key part of the animal's diet, and the maned wolf also helps spread the seeds across the landscape. Of course, it still hunts too. It will take small mammals, birds, and other small prey, and in some cases it can bring down larger animals like deer or collared peccaries. Even though it is not the heaviest canid, it is the tallest. A maned wolf can stand around 1.1 meters at the shoulder, yet it usually weighs only around 34 kilograms. That combination of height, strange build, and unique diet is what earns the maned wolf the number 5 spot. Number 4. For number 4, we head back to sub-Saharan Africa for the African wild dog, also known as the painted dog. This species is the largest wild canine in Africa, and it is also one of the rarest. It is the only living member of its genus, and unfortunately it is listed as endangered with only a few thousand left in the wild. These dogs used to live across huge areas of Africa, but now their remaining populations are scattered, mainly because of habitat loss, human conflict, and disease outbreaks. The African wild dog is famous for its colorful coat. Each one has a different pattern of black, white, tan, and brown patches, and no two individuals look exactly the same. Their rarity has nothing to do with weakness, because they are some of the most effective hunters in Africa. They have an extremely high hunting success rate, and a big reason for that is their stamina. Instead of relying on ambush, they often chase prey over long distances until it is exhausted, and then they take it down. Living in such a dangerous ecosystem means they have a lot of enemies. Lions, hyenas, and leopards will kill them when they get the chance, and these threats force the dogs to be cautious. Even so, they can take down impressive prey, including wildebeest and zebra, and they are known to hunt smaller antelopes most often. In size, they can stand around 75 centimeters at the shoulder and reach a maximum weight of about 36 kilograms, which makes them the largest wild canines outside of North America and earns them number 4. Number 3. Now we get into the more controversial part of the list, because the next animals depend heavily on classification. At number 3 is the eastern wolf, sometimes called the eastern timber wolf. Some scientists consider it a unique species, while others see it as a subspecies of the gray wolf, or even as a wolf and coyote mix. The truth is that many wolf populations contain some coyote DNA, and many coyote populations contain some wolf DNA, so the lines can get blurry. Eastern wolves are mainly found in parts of eastern Canada, especially areas like Ontario and Quebec, and they tend to live in forested regions where they hunt prey like white-tailed deer and sometimes moose. In behavior, they are very similar to other wolves, but they are smaller than the largest gray wolves. They can reach around 70 centimeters at the shoulder and have a maximum weight of about 37 kilograms. Whether you call it a species, a subspecies, or a hybrid, it is still a big wild canid, and it takes the number 3 spot. Number 2. At number 2 is the red wolf. Just like the eastern wolf, its classification is debated. Some people consider it its own species, some think it is a subspecies of gray wolf, and others argue it is a wolf and coyote hybrid. Its size sits right between a coyote and a gray wolf, and even its vocalizations sound like a mix of the two. The red wolf also has a distinct reddish coat and long legs, which makes it stand out from other wild canines in North America. The red wolf is one of the most endangered canines on the planet. It once disappeared from the wild and was declared extinct in the wild around 1980. But through captive breeding and reintroduction programs, small populations were brought back. Even today, it faces serious threats, especially from habitat loss, illegal killings, and hybridization with coyotes, which makes it harder to keep the population genetically distinct. In terms of size, red wolves can reach around 80 centimeters at the shoulder and weigh up to about 40 kilograms. That makes them larger than coyotes and places them firmly at number 2 on this list. Number 1. At number 1, the largest wild canine in the world is the gray wolf. This is the biggest and most powerful member of the canine family, and it ranges across both Eurasia and North America. Gray wolves are incredibly adaptable predators with many subspecies, and some of those subspecies include the domestic dog and the dingo. In the past, gray wolves were one of the most widely distributed mammals on Earth, but their range has been reduced significantly because of conflict with humans. Gray wolves are built for endurance hunting. They often target large prey like deer, elk, and moose, and they use teamwork and stamina to wear animals down over long distances. Wolves live in packs, and that pack structure helps them defend territory, raise pups, and even take on prey that would be impossible for a lone wolf to handle. Their territories can cover huge areas, anywhere from around 50 to over 1,000 square miles, depending on food availability. Gray wolves also live in competitive ecosystems where they can clash with other predators like bears, cougars, and lynx. Because they hunt in groups, they can sometimes chase off lone predators and even steal kills, but they also face real danger from larger animals. Still, when it comes to raw size, no other wild canine can match them. Gray wolves can reach around 92 centimeters at the shoulder, and the largest individuals can weigh up to about 80 kilograms. That is why the gray wolf is the number 1 largest wild canine on Earth. If you know of any other canines that you think deserve a place on this list, let me know. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed learning about the largest wild canines on Earth.